How much money do I spend on the houses that I sell? A lot of you have been asking because you're interviewing agents that are telling you, oh yeah, I charge a higher compensation because I do all this marketing that's really expensive. You just don't even know. So I'm here to bunk that myth because I want to explain to you what I spend on my listings, and I spend a lot of money on my listings. A lot of it's for self-promotion, but a lot of it's directly to influence the sale of your home. So today I'm going to tell you things that I think are worth spending money on. I'm also going to share with you things that I think is customary for the listing agent to pay for, because a lot of you are paying for things you shouldn't. Let's get into it. Let's talk photos. Whenever we think of marketing, at least I do, I think marketing is all about those photos. So how much are photos anyway? So I use my own personal private photographer. His name is Wyman Gentry, and I reluctantly tell you that because you're all going to call him and now he's going to be booked for days. I will link his information down below. But when I do a photo shoot on a property, I'm doing an unbranded and branded video. What's the difference? An unbranded video is just a video of the property. I'm not in there giving you the tour or telling you the features and benefits of the property. If I'm in the video discussing the features and benefits, it's considered a branded video. And we cannot put branded videos on the MLS. So why do I do it? Because I upload these videos to YouTube, and I have my own YouTube channel specifically designed just to promote my listings. I will link it down below. You can get an idea of the quality of videos that I provide. Not only am I able to push those videos out on YouTube, which, as you know, I have quite a following, but it's because when somebody makes an appointment to view the home, I take that link and I share it with the agent, or I share it with a buyer, and they start watching that video over and over again, and they start to fall in love. I also take about anywhere from 60 to about 80 photos per property. Not only do I include the property, I also include city shots or community shots. Obviously, the larger the home and the larger the facility, or the smaller the home and smaller facilities, really depends on how many photos we shoot. Now, during that photo shoot, I also have my photographer team create a floor plan. It's a custom floor plan that gives all the specifications of each room, the dimensions, and the name of each one of the rooms. So when we put that online in MLS, the buyer can see the floor plan. It's really powerful. We also do drone photography, and we do social reels where we take very short clips and we post them on Instagram and promote your house that way as well. Now, my fancy photographer can also do virtual staging. Virtual staging, just so you know, because we're going to get into the price in just a minute, is about $50 per room. $50 per room when you have my professional photographer virtually stage a room, which he does a fantastic job. Now, with this photographer, they're doing edits, right? Really cool special effects as well. So we'll like edit out some of the chords or some of the things in the picture, and we'll spend probably about 30 minutes on the phone reviewing each one of the photos. We're also doing things like showing where the property lines are. So we'll do a drone image and he'll create some type of line that shows where the property lines are, or they'll have a pin and it will show the area and how close it is to certain locations. He does a fantastic job. My favorite one is when they take a picture of the house and the house is in color, but the surrounding area is in black and white. So we have a very, very gifted photographer that shoots all of my homes. Audra, we got it. How much do you spend for your photographer? I mentioned that my virtual staging per room is about $50 per room. And then on the low end, so if I'm doing a really small condo, I would say the minimum I spend on a smaller unit is about $1,200 on the low side. On the higher end side, so a property, let's say that's about 6,000 square feet with maybe half an acre, I'm probably looking about $3,000. I'd say about $1,200 to $3,000 on average for each one of my properties that I shoot. And that's a lot of money. And the reason why I spend that money is because it makes all the difference in the world. If you go look up any of my photos online, you're going to look at it and go, wow, she's right. These pictures shine online. You get what you pay for. Now, I would say most of the agents out there that are shooting the properties, they're probably spending about $500 on the high side. Some of them even use their iPhones. And if you have a realtor that comes to your house and is taking pictures with their iPhone, just tell them, get out the door, you're fired. I know it's hard. It's very expensive being a listing agent if you're doing it right. If you don't hire an agent that can spend that investment on your property, don't hire him. Hire someone that is willing to make that investment into your property. It makes all the difference in the world. The reason why I spend so much money on photos is because your first showing marketing is online. So if your house does not shine online, you're not going to get anybody coming to your house, or very few. And the few that do show up are going to want a discount. Now, of course, it's pointless to go hire the fancy photographer if your house looks like poo-poo, right? So you're going to want to make sure your house looks perfect. I mean, perfect. I recommend staging. And when I am putting my houses on the market, there's a lot of my homes I don't have to stage, so I'm willing to lower my compensation. If I have to stage the property, or if that's the recommendation and the seller agrees to it, obviously my compensation goes up a little bit. And I'll go through what I usually charge to the end, so you guys will watch it. But nonetheless, I do offer staging. That's the most expensive part of my marketing. So I would say the minimum that I spend on staging, which all stagers have a minimum, is about $3,000. And the most expensive staging I've ever paid for is $15,000. And if you have a really fancy house, like if you're watching those shows, they're probably spending $25,000 to $30,000 on some of those fancy homes for staging. And why are they doing that? Are they crazy? No, they're smart, because it's effective and it works. So you get your house looking beautiful, you bring that photographer in, oh my gosh, you take those photos, and now you have a narrative on your property where someone sees it online and they are like getting in that car, making that phone call. They can't wait to see it because they can visualize themselves there. Now, a lot of you are like, Audra, I don't have a fancy house. And my realtor, there's no way they're spending money on staging. So what do? You don't have to hire a stager. You can watch some videos, a lot of good ones on YouTube. I've done a few, I'll link down below. You can do your own staging. Just remember though, the most important thing is you need to declutter. Having less in your house is way better than having too much. I spend a lot of money on my property brochures. I mean, a whole lot of money. And the reason why I do that is because I see the benefit and the impact it has on buyers. We're able to convince people just by our property brochures to purchase a home. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm not. So look how beautiful these are. Oh my God, these are just absolutely stunning. So they're 12 pages long. Look at how beautiful this picture is. Wyman Gentry took this photo. It's actually a drone image. Look at the clarity of this. It's just beautiful. Oh, I love my property brochures. I love them. We just sold this beautiful home. Look at this beauty. This is the Hunt Club. We sold this property in 2 weeks. Look at how beautiful these images are. I mean, they're just absolutely stunning. And if you're going to go to the full effort of putting your house together and taking these beautiful images, then let's show. I got butterfingers here. It's glorious. I mean, these, oh my gosh, they're just beautiful. I have about 12 of them here, okay, from different properties. Oh, let's look at this one. I love this house. Look at this backyard. Can you guys see that? Oh my gosh, I'd die to live here. Okay, so how much do these little guys cost? Now, it really depends on the quality of paper. So we did test the different qualities. So for only $25 on the high side, if you do the highest quality, it's about $1,200 for 25 property brochures, because they are 12 pages long. On the low side, you're looking at about $500, depending on the quality. On average, I'm spending about $750 for 25 property brochures. You see that? I mean, rarely, and I mean rarely, do I ever have to have these reprinted, because I usually have the properties sold within 30 days. So we don't run out of property brochures. Only one time did I have to reprint. Actually, 2 times I had to reprint, but it's okay. They you know, you can't win them all. Now, I can almost promise you that most of the agents that you'll be interviewing aren't going to put the money into these guys. The benefit of this too, and this is something I want a lot of you agents out there listening to, is yes, this is a big investment, but like this weekend, we had 6 open houses. And I had various different agents at these open houses, and we would bring our binder of all these properties and we would put them on the counter. And when the buyers would come in, we'd have the ones that are actively listed down below and the ones that we sold. And it's a wonderful conversation piece. And the benefit of that, my agents and I are able to pass all these buyers to our various different open houses, and it becomes a collaborative effort. And not even that, these buyers are like, wow, these agents are really professional. I mean, holy smokes, we're all calibrated, we're all having the same marketing, we have the same pitch, we know everybody's property. It's a very powerful statement, and the buyers coming in that are looking at your home know that you're well represented if they're doing stuff like this. Now, we love Audra's property brochures, right? We love these little guys. The problem with these little guys is they take 5 to 7 business days to print, and that's the fastest we can get it done, and that's done on a rush. It's a very, very, very difficult process and a very cumbersome one. So we also do these things called distinguishing feature sheets. So for each one of our properties, we create these little distinguishing features. We can turn them around in a day. So these distinguishing features, you open it up, it has the floor plan, and it has all the distinguishing features that we think are pertinent on the property. Now, your buyers are always going to want to know a few questions. What are the HOAs? what's the price, what's the year it was built, and what is the square footage and the lot size. So just put it in here. Just, save yourself a lot of time. And a lot of the agents are not doing this. So if you're a seller, just create your own distinguishing feature list, print it out on your computer, help them out. But this is really important to make sure that your visitor walks away on the property with a distinguishing feature. Now, if you noticed in my beautiful property brochures, I don't have a lot of words. I have just a introduction, and then pretty much just have a picture book of all the gorgeous photos, okay? There's not a lot of distinguishing features in here because we have the distinguishing features, where to go? Right here. See how it matches? Oh, it's so pretty. So when a visitor comes, we hand them this. We put a sweet little smile on our faces, and we sell the property very quickly. If we have it priced properly, which is always my goal. Now, these feature sheets are about $1 a piece, give or take. I do a lot of printing, so I get a really good discount through my printer. And I usually order 40 or 50 of them. Now, a cost that I'm not including in this marketing is the cost of creating it, right? So I have a full-time marketing person, a full-time W-2 employed marketing person that does all my stuff. And I live in California, and that's very expensive. I can't share their salary, but it's expensive, okay? I also have a full-time operational manager. Now, most realtors don't have that. I do, because I kind of run myself like I'm running a company. Most realtors will hang their license under a broker that will charge 20 to 30% of their compensation once they close a deal. And the benefit of the agent when they do something like that is that they don't have to upfront any fees. The brokerage creates their marketing for them, right? They create those templates and they create a strategy, but they still have to pay for the mailing of it. So what I do that's a little bit different is I am a member of Realty One Group. It's a fee-based brokerage firm, meaning I pay a certain fee, a very inexpensive fee, every month. And then once I close a deal, there's a scale. And it just says, hey, if you sell a house for $1 million, we get, I don't know, $1,200. It's not commission-based. That allows me to take home about 98% of my compensation, which is pretty impressive. But I also have to hire my own marketing team, and I create my own templates and I create my own strategy because I think I'm really good at it. And I also want to stand out. When you're working with a brokerage firm that has their own templates and their own marketing stuff, it starts to look all the same. If you ever see my marketing, you'll notice it looks a little bit different. I'll show a few pieces on the screen right here and here. It's cool, it's different. So when your agent tells you, oh, I'm spending a lot of money on marketing, what they're telling you, and not always, probably what they're telling you, is that they're giving a lot of money back to their brokerage firm because their brokerage firm is creating some of these marketing pieces for them. So another area I spend a whole heck of a lot of money on is my mailers. So I'll send a just listed postcard, or this is my activity, or here's the comps in your community. And on the backside, sometimes I'll advertise my YouTube channel, which is really cool because I get a lot of people following me because of that. I love that. I love meeting friends on YouTube. But anyway, it's expensive. So one mailer, I send everything out on 8.5 by 11 on thick cardstock. That costs about $1,800 every time I'm mailing a piece out to my farm area. And I do that 3 times a month, probably 2 to 3 times a month. So it's anywhere from $400 to $5,500 a month just on my mailings alone. That's a lot, folks. And why do I do it? It's because it works, but you got to do it consistently or it doesn't do anything. So what happens if I get a listing that's not in my farm area, which actually it happens quite a bit. So what I'll do is I'll do what's called skip tracing. I use a company called Batch Leads. It's the best one out there. A lot of title reps can pull this for you. They do a horrible job because they don't want to spend the money. Batch Leads IO. It's awesome. So I'll take that property that's not in my farm area and I will take this program and say, hey, give me 1,000 homes around this area and give me their phone numbers, their emails, and their addresses. And I'll take those addresses and I'll create a marketing flyer saying, hey, check out this gorgeous home. We're having an open house, blah, 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 blah. Come see us, right? It's very useful. And so I will send a mailing out as well. And that probably runs about $1,000 to about 1,000 different homes, right? Now, what do I do with those emails and phone numbers? A lot of people are texting right now. They think that's the best way to market. I don't text people. It annoys me. I don't like it. I might consider it down the road, but I'm not doing that right now. But I do take those emails and I will email blast and send out information to my database. Email marketing is amazing. You just can't go overboard on it. So I send email marketing about twice a month, and it's about $350 per email blast. We put a lot of energy and design into our emails. A lot of you are receiving my emails. At the top of the email is usually my most recent YouTube video or one that I really like. And then it lists the properties that we have for sale or open houses that we're having. It's a great way to let people know what you're doing. People show up at the open houses and they'll actually call us off some of those flyers, because some of the people that are moving into my area, they're coming from, New Jersey or Florida, and they get my email and they're like, whoa. And so how do I get those emails? I do skip tracing, like I told you. A lot of you YouTube people out there, you guys are receiving my emails. And anybody that comes through my open house, I make them sign in. And I do this off a program called JotForm. I don't know if you guys can see that. Each one of the visitors will sign in, and we will follow up with them after the open house to see some feedback, see if they have any interest in making an offer, or if we can be of service in any other capacity. As soon as this is filled out, the emails and the phone numbers go to our CRM. The CRM that we use is Follow Up Boss. I love that program. It is the best CRM out there for realtors. So you sellers are like, what you talking about? Don't worry. But it's also very expensive. So you pay per user. I have quite a few users. So I'm paying about $700 a month for my CRM right now, and it's worth every stinking penny, let me tell you. But the beauty of it is when the visitors fill this out, it goes to our CRM, it goes into our database. The emails are automatically put into our email blast. And when we send out an email, bam, they get the email blast. And the beauty of it is the people that come through our open house, like this weekend, we had 6 open houses. And I'm tired. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock on Sunday. The commitment I have for you folks. I'm joking. But anyway, it's been a really long day. But we do know that those 80 visitors through our open house this week, and more than likely, the majority of them are serious buyers. So when we're sending our marketing out there, our email marketing, because we have their phone numbers, they're going to be getting our active listings. And if you're listing with us, you want active buyers that have been through our open houses to see your home. It's very powerful and very effective. And it's worth every penny. Okay, I mentioned it's really late, so you're gonna help a girl out and you're gonna subscribe to my channel because I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. And I'm nowhere near, but help me out, subscribe, let's get back into it. Let's talk about the giants in the room. Zillow, Homes.com, and Redfin. Okay, Redfin I don't think is really that big of a player, at least not in my world. They do have great data and reports, but I don't really spend any money in promoting my listings with them. In fact, I don't even know if I can. But Zillow and Homes.com are the big players, and you got to just get along with the giants. So I do spend $500 a month on Zillow to showcase some of my listings. It's $500. I get 1 free credit or token or whatever they call it, and I get a showcase listing. You get pushed out more, okay? You get more views. Zillow, makes you pay more to do that, which is ridiculous, but nonetheless, that's the program that we pay into. Any additional listing that comes on the market, I can decide to pay additional money to showcase it on Zillow. On Homes.com, I pay $1,000 a month. So whether I have 20 listings or 10 listings or 0 listings, I pay $1,000 a month. I really like Homes.com. I think their platform is way better than Zillow. We get a lot more likes, a lot more views, and they not only market to their database, but they are aligning with all these different companies to push out advertising. It's pretty powerful. The reason why I spend money on these 2 platforms is because they give me data and they give me reports, and I can see how many views. I can see agents that have actually looked at the listing, and I'm able to call them back. It's called reverse prospecting, right? So I love to give data to my clients. It helps everyone involved in the process to make a good decision. If we're getting no views, or if we're getting a lot of views, that's great. We know we're priced right. If we see, we do a price reduction and we're still not getting views, I mean, it tells a story, that data. So that's why I spend the money. I know it's expensive, but I do think it's worth it. I don't love Zillow though. I mean, I'm kind of glad Homes.com's picking up. And by the way, Homes.com's putting billions of dollars into their platform, and go check it out. They're doing a really good job. Really like that company. Other costs that I incur, and you can call this marketing or not, but it is part of my offering, is that I will comp a home inspection, a termite inspection, and an appraisal report. There's a million reasons why I do that. You can watch some of my other videos, but I'm smartening up. And so what I'm doing now is I'm telling the sellers, you go pay for it. And then once we close, I'll compensate you through the process. I'm not paying for that fee up front anymore. And the reason why is I can't tell you how many home sellers decide not to sell, and now I'm stuck with the bill. They didn't mean to do it that way. It's just they had to stay, or they had circumstances that they didn't need to sell. But with that said, that is a cost that I do incur. My home inspections probably run me about $650. It really depends on the size of the house. The appraisal report's right around $500, and the termite report's right around $125. A big expense that I have in my business is my agents. I spend a lot of money on my agents, and I find the best ones I can find out there, and I pay them well. Now, most team leads will not pay for their agents to go hold an open house or go do a showing or sit at a home inspection. It's kind of like a favor system where, the team lead's like, hey, Johnny, you go do my open house, go waste your weekends, you get some buyers leads off of there. You're lucky you got the open house, and they pay Johnny nothing, okay? I don't do it that way. I do not want to owe anybody any money. And if I'm asking you to do something for me, if you're on my team, I'm going to compensate you for that. But you're going to do it my way. And all my agents, I want to be little mini Audras. I train them on how to do an open house. I train them how to do a showing, how to do a home inspection. And it's intense. Trust me, it's not an easy wage that they're earning. Most of our open houses we do have catered. They're responsible for doing that. They're responsible for getting all the feedback and tracking it in our systems. They're responsible for following up through all the people that come through the open house. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And if they are doing an appraisal, they have to make sure that, it's done the way that I want it done. They have to pitch it back to me. I mean, it's a thing. Like if you're on my team, you learn a lot, but you are well compensated. I do not like wasting anybody's time, and I compensate them fairly. So how much do I pay them? So it depends on their experience, but anywhere from $45 to $60 an hour. So if they're doing a home inspection and just sitting there, my people aren't just sitting there. Trust me, they're listening. They are educated on what is expected or what's customary in a home inspection. Like we're talking top quality agents. So $45 to $60 an hour for a open house. If they do it my way and my protocol, it's $200 for an open house. So they're setting up the signs the way that I want it. I'm a little OCD, but I promise you, if you go to any one of my open houses, you're going to be like, whoa, this is done right. Okay. And I pay heavily for that. So it depends on how many showings we have, how busy we get, but that is a big cost to my business. So if you are working with me, you're dealing with top quality agents that are extremely well trained. These are no freebies and, oh, thanks for helping me out this weekend. I am running a professional business. So what's customary for a listing agent to pay for? Definitely photos, any listing materials, any mailers that go out is the listing agent's responsibility. If they're asking you to pay for that, fire them. Just fire them, okay? No way, absolutely not. That is not your responsibility. You're paying them a commission. That is their job to market your home. Now, a lot of your agents are paying their brokerage firm 20% of their commission that they're making once the transaction closes. So they rely heavily on their brokerage firm to send out emails and do their international, pitch, do their private exclusive. And when they come in to meet with you, they're going to pitch this, but the money's not coming out of their pocket until actually the contract closes. Another area I spend a lot of money on is my website, and I have it constantly updated. I have a totally 1000% custom website. I have people maintaining it that I have to spend money on a monthly basis. I promote my listings, and I drive a lot of sales and a lot of volume through my website. I highly suggest you check it out. I'll put it on the screen here for you. It's very user-friendly. A lot of people go to that site just to look at our listings alone. I spent $6,000 to get this site up and running. It's all of our own pictures. It took just a labor of love to do, and we're constantly improving it. And yes, it's still really slow, and we're working on improving that. But nonetheless, we're trying to differentiate ourselves. And when people go look at your house on our website, we want them to be blown away. Okay, the purpose of this video isn't to be like,
oh, wow, look at that Audra. She's just absolutely amazing. What a marketer.
This isn't for self-promotion reasons. The purpose of this video is to let you know how much cost goes behind listing a home. And if you are hiring an agent that hasn't had a lot of sales, because 71% of all the realtors out there in 2024 did not sell one property. So pretty much it would be, making kind of the assumption here that 71% of those realtors out there are broke. So if you're going to hire them to go go list your house for sale, are they going to have money for all the things that I said? And if you are selling your home, don't you want to have a professional that's going to invest in your property, which is your number one biggest asset more than likely? You want to have a professional that's been doing a lot of business because they're going to have the money to invest in marketing and selling your home. Not to mention the experience in doing so many transactions. So as promised, I tell you what I charge for my listings. Now, I will tell you, it really depends on the price point. Now, I live in Orange County, California, and my values are really high. So I just sold one last week for $4.6 million, and I'm closing one tomorrow at $1.3 million. So I have a big range of homes that I actually represent. So on the lower end side, I'm charging a 2.5% compensation for full service. And I'm talking full service. Now, if there's staging involved, I add another 25 basis points. So instead of 2.5, it'd be 2.75. And for some of my higher end listings, I'm charging 2%. And if they require staging, of course, it's an extra 25 basis points. So it'd be 2.25%. Now, some of you reached out and said, hey, Audra, we don't need all your service. We know we're just going to sell our house. We just want you to put a lockbox on and we want you to move it. So I will sometimes do discounts if it's going to be easy and doesn't require a lot of service. It's case by case. But we do that. We're full service. If you want more of our services, then we're going to charge you more. If you want less of our service, we're going to charge you less. Pretty simple. And now you're going to ask me, well, how about the buyer's agent? How much do we pay them? So once again, just remember that when that buyer presents an offer to you, in that offer, they're going to request a compensation for their buyer's agent. It's always negotiable. It always has been, although I know a lot of you didn't know that, but nonetheless, it's negotiable. And my area right now, it's very similar. We're seeing ranges anywhere from 2% all the way up to 3%. It really depends on the price and the terms and the price point. But remember, it's not set in stone and it is negotiable. So the skill set of a buyer's agent versus a listing agent are vast, right? They're very different. So a buyer's agent, they're not putting a lot of money out there. They're just putting gas in the car and driving you around. Now, it's a skill. Don't get me wrong. I'm not minimizing what a buyer's agent is. I'm just saying their investment up front is way less. A listing agent has far more of the burden as far as costs. So if you are listing your home, make sure you choose a very, very strong, reputable agent that understands how to present your house in the best light, because you are paying quite a bit of money for their services and you want to make sure they're giving you the proper guidance. I do have a referral network. If you would like us to give you some agent referrals in your area, we're happy to do so. I will link in the description box below. There's no commitment, but at least you're interviewing agents that have a good reputation and they have good reviews and great experience. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I know this was a long one, but you've been asking me for this video, so here you go. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.